Radiant team ban.
And we're back with the American Dota League. We have Team Dignitas versus Team Liquid, our second game of the day. In our first game, we saw Team Liquid drop, spoiler, to Evil Geniuses, who remain undefeated. In our second game, we see Dignitas versus Liquid. Liquid suffering their second loss in that last game. Dignitas have 3 losses, so they kind of even up their footing with Liquid. If they take a victory here, Liquid are going to try and avoid that at all costs, of course. But we'll see just what happens once the game goes live. But I'm Emwa Jum, and we have some bans coming out here. Wisp is banned out by Dignitas. Team Liquid take out Darkseer, looking to add 1 on top of that. And we know that Dignitas are a team that really favor Darkseer. They love Darkseer and Jakiro. So while Darkseer isn't banned super frequently, I'd say infrequently maybe, definitely makes sense against them. They just love that combo. Those two have innate synergy that is phenomenal. And we've seen time and time again, Universe as well as whoever's playing the support, sometimes Fog, sometimes whoever, execute on it. Dignitas look like they're running with 2 stand-ins here. I'm not sure who Querity is, but of course we know who Solace is. So that could be a factor as well. Solace played pretty well for another North American team the other day, but I don't recall who it was exactly. Bans coming out here. It's going to be Gyrocopter banned out by Liquid and Batrider banned out by Dignitas. So we're looking at wide variety of heroes still available. Stream Protector being the most boring of them, and he's going to be first picked by Liquid. So this is probably a good pick for this team, considering how aggressive Korok likes to play. Being able to make him a little bit more safe with that Stream Protector is going to be so beneficial and allow him to really cash in on some of that aggression. Meanwhile, Dignitas, 2 response picks here. See if they want to pick up something like the Visage and the Shadow Demon, or maybe Lifestealer even. I know they like Jakiro, but not having the Darkseer is probably going to deter them. No, it's not. They're going to go for the Jakiro anyway. And an early Queen of Pain. Early Queen of Pain. It's a hero they probably could have gotten later on in this draft, but decided to go for it. So interesting choice from them. And now we're looking for a second pick from Liquid. If you're just tuning in and you missed the last game, if you purchased a ticket in the Dota 2 store for $5, you can watch the replay of the game later, because that game was pretty phenomenal. Evil Geniuses versus Liquid. We're looking to replicate it in some regards here. Maybe make an even tighter game going on to later stages. But of course, $5 gets you all of the replays, all of the live games. You can watch your favorite players in first person and learn a whole lot as well. So be sure to take advantage of that while you can. If you don't have $5, go ask your best friend for $5 and buy it with that. Don't ever pay him back. That's fine by me. We see Chen picked up by Liquid in response here. I do love Fluff and Stuff's Chen. I mean, he impresses you every single time you see him. His ability to chain off stuns. I believe it was just the other day when he was going up against the Queen of Pain, and Queen of Pain, with Blink off of cooldown, ready to go, was able to chain off Centaur stuns so seamlessly that they got a kill on her. And that's a very difficult thing to do. And Fluff is just so well versed with this hero. So anytime you have that hero with that player, good things are going to happen. Meanwhile, bans are going to come out here. We see Anti-Mage and Slark banned out by Dignitas. Liquid ban out the Naga Siren as well as the Enchantress. So a couple of cool builds. And I'm getting note that Querity is Universe. So Universe is on hand. It's only 1 stand-in. Solace is the only stand-in for Dignitas. And we're looking for a third pick for them as well. So what do they want to add to their Jakiro Queen of Pain they have so far? A lot of teams try and go aggressive against the Stream Protector because he's not the best laner. But in return, some teams throw in a really strong tri-laning carry, such as a Weaver or something along those lines, and try and counter that aggressive, or go aggressive themselves. So there's a lot of potential, there's a lot of maneuvering, and we see Nature's Prophet slip through the draft somehow. It's going to get picked up here by Dignitas at the 3rd selection spot. So, Nature's Prophet, not much to say about him. He's just overall a powerful hero. He has been for quite some time. The ability to get around that map in a hurry is going to be useful, but going up against his tree friend and tree and protector, a lot of those towers are going to be difficult to push. If he's able to get the living armor off on them, it's going to prove a little bit frustrating for Nature's Prophet. He tries to be split pushy, so maybe he'll be a little bit more team fight oriented, try and get involved early and often in an effective capacity. We see Puck is also picked up here by Liquid, so maybe Korok on the Puck, maybe Bulba or TC on the Puck. Who knows? Korok did play the solo middle Slark last game, so that's probably what I would guess, even though they do switch things up pretty often. And Puck is just a phenomenal mid laner. Puck can lane against almost anyone without real threat of dropping too hard. Dignitas looking for a fourth pick here. They already have their solo in their off lane. They have a support. Do they want to throw a carry on here or pick up another good support hero? Shadow Demon's still available. Bane's still available. These are pretty good options against the Puck. They could also go for the Lifestealer if they'd want. Queen of Pain and Nature's Prophet with their mobility would make Infest that much more potent if they're able to capitalize on those ganks. So I wouldn't be too surprised if that was an option they decided to pursue as well. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in their picking phase, and they're trying to make a decision of their own. I'm not sure if it was Dignitas or another team, but someone did run an aggressive tri-lane Queen of Pain the other day, and it worked out pretty poorly for them. We've seen it happen in the past. It's just not something you like to see, so we're going to assume that this Queen of Pain is middle. And with the Leshrac pick, I'm going to go ahead and just give the 100% middle call on Quap. So she's going to be middle. Leshrac, of course, good with Jakiro. Gives him some more pushing viability. Of course, Tree and Protector is still in play, so he's going to frustrate them a little bit in that regard as well. But having the Leshrac, having the Jakiro, having Nature's Prophet all have some extra little pushing capabilities. And we'll see if maybe their last hero is going to be pushing oriented as well. I wonder if maybe Liquid are going to try and ban out the DK, but already putting my 100% mid stamp on the Queen of Pain, it's unlikely they're going to pick the DK because putting him in the tri-lane is going to deprive him of levels, yada, yada, yada. They would have a pretty potent tri-lane with 3 huge disables coming out, but I don't know if that's what they'd really want. We do see Liquid looking for their 4th pick here. Have the Puck for the middle. Have a Chen and Tree and Protector for 2 supports. They're looking for a really safe tri-lane. They're going to play this about as safe as possible. If anyone looks at them too hard, they might back up because it's going to be tough goings in that bottom lane. Maybe look for a hero that's a little bit more safe as well. Something like a Luna wouldn't be too bad just because you have that extra range. You can get the CS from a distance. They're going to go with a Lifestealer. He's another hero. Pretty tanky, tough to take down in that tri-lane. The animation on Ice Path is pretty easy to avoid. Split Earth, pretty easy to avoid, unless Dignitas opt for an instant stun or a single target stun here to try and set things up with their last hero pick, which is certainly a possibility. We see final ban going to come out from Dignitas in a moment. They're looking for a 5th hero to take out. Liquid sitting with their tri-lane and their solo intact. Something they can throw in the off lane is probably going to be targeted here. Maybe a Windrunner. Maybe Bounty Hunter could be an option, I suppose. Maybe a Weaver even. Weaver wouldn't be too bad of a ban, of course. Weaver and Puck give Lifestealer some really good ins in the team fights. They're going to ban out the Phantom Lancer, which is a really interesting decision. I don't know if I see where a Phantom Lancer fits in, but he is a frustrating hero nonetheless, so taking him out of the mix is going to be nice, I suppose. They already have 1 frustrating hero in Tree and Protector. Don't give them 2. Team Liquid now with their 5th ban. Maybe a DK ban just to make sure they can't get it. If they go DK, they're really early game oriented. They're going to brand out the Luna, who's a strong pusher, and Weaver's going to get picked up instantly from Dignitas. They're looking like they could run an aggressive tri-lane. It could be really strong. Weaver, Leshrac, Jakiro. There's not too much kill potential from a Tree and Protector, Chen, and Lifestealer lane. So they can apply a good amount of pressure down there. They can get the push going early if Liquid decide to try and be really abusive with those pulls. There's some options here for Dignitas. If they want to put that Nature's Prophet in a safe lane, get him to solo up against the Lifestealer, and Mirana's going to be picked up by Liquid. Is it a fluff and stuff support Mirana? Or is it carry Mirana? Korok, TC. It's going to be a Korok Mirana. Puck is being played by TC. So this just changed everything. Once again, Bulba's on the Lifestealer, and we saw what happened last game when it was Lifestealer versus Weaver. It just didn't work out. AUI's on the Weaver right now. We're going to see if they change it up a little bit in terms of that Lifestealer being solo or not, but I'd still suspect he's going to try and find a solo lane, probably against Universe on the Nature's Prophet. And with the Tree and Protector, he should do a little bit better. We'll switch over to our in-game, of course. And if you're just joining, this is the second game of the day. We have Dignitas versus Liquid. This is the American Dota League. Follow them at American Dota on Twitter. Also follow them here on this Twitch channel that you're probably watching from. If you're in-game, then props to you for being in-game. I heard there were some intermittent voice problems in-game. I tried to resolve those issues. So be sure to give me some feedback and let me know if it's all going well. But we'll get into the action now. Battle of two huge North American powerhouses between Dignitas and Liquid. Dignitas looking to take Liquid down and be on almost equal footing with them in terms of their record in the ADL. Meanwhile, Liquid are trying to get a big win over Dignitas that could solidify a 2 or even 3 seed for them moving into the playoff stages. We have introductions as we're looking at Dignitas on the Dire side. AUI 2000 is going to be playing that Weaver. We have Way Too Sexy, who's been missing in action for a lot of games recently. Glad to see him make it out. Going to be on Jakiro. Solus on Leshrak, the stand-in. Snaking playing Queen of Pain, and the King is here. And of course, Universe on that Nature's Prophet. So Fogged is the player that's absent right now for Dignitas. But Solus, a very capable stand-in. We'll see what he can make out of that role in this game. Dignitas looking pretty aggressive early on. Liquid on the flip side, looking mighty aggressive themselves with that Mirana pick now. IX Mike will be playing the Tree and Protector. We have Korok playing the Mirana Fluff on the Chen. Bulbo, who's getting jumped on a little bit here, is on the Lifestealer. TC playing the Puck. So once again, full role reversal. Everyone's swapping everything. And I think, Korok probably plays a beast Mirana. He plays a beast everything. But Mirana's a hero they can put in this bottom lane, even with two pretty poor early game supports. That's pretty safe. Nature's Prophet is actually a solo down here. They decide not to go aggressive. So, they're just going to try and push out this top lane, it would seem, then. They have a lot of pushing potential. If Nature's Prophet can get involved whenever he picks up a couple levels, then that's just going to add to it. And there's also the ability to dive. But if Leshrak gets a couple levels and they have that Edict in play, it's going to force out the living armor on the tower, and then Bulba's not nearly as safe. As you see Bulba poking his head forward in the lane. A little bit of a risky play from him early on here. As we check out our last instance denies, this middle matchup is a classic middle matchup. Queen of Pain versus Puck. A lane that we've seen Queen of Pain do a little bit less well in as of late. Puck has really been a powerhouse solo middle hero against Queen of Pain, but it can go either way depending on plays, depending on who gets involved. Top lane, they're applying some pressure to Bulba. Nothing too big going on up there. We see Nature's Prophet's going to poke his head forward pretty far in this lane. So one thing I want to point out, of course, is the fact that there aren't that many setup abilities for this Mirana's arrow. He's really going to have to just hit them on his own. He's going to have to be phenomenal. And surely Korok is capable of doing that, but it would be nice if they had a hard disable to set it up properly. There's a Dream Coil, but you can still juke in a Dream Coil. There's a couple slows. And of course, there's the Overgrowth later on, but not that many things to set up the perfect arrow. Bulba's going to get bullied off once again. He's got level 2, though. So he's done a better job in this top lane because of that living armor than you would suspect. There's a dive on bottom, though. It looks like Universe is going to be in some trouble. Here's the Centaur stun, and there's the arrow. So the Centaur takes care of the setup job, and the arrow comes in from Korok. Nets him an early first blood onto Universe. Universe with no vision on this bottom lane. Not able to anticipate the gank coming around or back up in time. So a little bit problematic, especially with the lane at his tower. And now it's taking a lot of damage. His tower's dropping rather quickly. As we see, it's down below half health. They could press for this kill here. Bulba gets caught out top lane. They're going to try and initiate on this. Here comes the Ice Path. It's going to miss as Bulba jukes it into the trees. But the Split Earth will connect and gets them a kill onto the Lifestealer. Big kill in the top lane for Dignitas. It's 1-1 now. Liquid with slight advantage because they got that first blood. But we saw Lifestealer fall behind last game. Something you really can't afford to happen middle lane, though. TC is bullying this Queen of Pain out of here. And he has a good lead in terms of CS. He's up 4, which isn't the end-all of the lane. It's not going to absolutely spoil the game for Queen of Pain, but it's pretty good. Snaking does have a double damage active. He needs to get regen back to him. He's going to get his bottle back now. And now that he's regenerating up, TC has to be careful. He's sitting on a salve, but nothing to bring back his mana as the bottle is on the Crow on this way out to him now. Boba in the top lane, still playing pretty aggressive. Runs forward. He's going to take some damage from the Edict. That instantly removes up the Treant's armor. There's a fake stun from Solace. Good cancel to make sure he didn't waste the split earth. Middle lane, though, there's a gank on TC. TC in trouble as Snaking and Universe combined to try and get the kill, but he's able to make it to the high ground and pop off his salve, so he'll be okay as well. Meanwhile, Fluff is going to go ahead and look for another wrap kill, but no one's down bottom at the moment. Nature's Prophet looking to just make his way into the jungle. Not a TP for 25 seconds or so available. So this tower's probably going to go down to Liquid, but we're going to look at the top lane where there's a smoke gank wrapping around onto Bulba. He's going to get hit by the Edict damage here. And the Ice Path, nope, the Dual Breath's going to come out first. AUI is going to continue the dive. No, he's going to back up. And they're going to try and put some pressure on this tower to at least get a little bit of a trade because the tower is dropped down bottom. Korok picking up that gold. And you can say Korok is leading the way in terms of his net worth now. That gold having a pretty big impact on that. Snaking in the middle lane, now picking up some CS. He's up to 15. He's only 6 behind TC. Top lane, they're still considering a dive. Dual Breath flies out. Barely catches Bulba. Bulba backs up, and he's okay. Now Edict damage onto the tower. It's dropping rather quickly. And there's a TP coming in. It's going to be Treant Protector. It's a little bit of a bluff. Treant Protector's not going to be able to do all too much that he couldn't do in the bottom lane up here. It could make the lane a little bit more safe, I suppose, but he doesn't have much mana, so the tower's going to go down with or without the Treant Protector up here. And Dire are able to equalize once again. 1-1 in terms of kills, 1-1 in terms of tower kills. Now middle lane, we see Snaking jumping on top of TC. However, that exchange is won by TC, who's able to phase shift the aggression. Now TC with the living armor on as well. Going to consider a dive here, has an illusion over a couple seconds, but is just going to let Snaking go as he knows the blink was available soon. Interesting to see that Snaking opted for no levels in Shadow Strike. Usually see at least one come out, but the second level in blink is going to be nice for him as well. Pause coming out. AUI on Weaver is going to force us to take a short break. We also see Bulba, 700 gold in bank. So he's doing a better job this game, considering the circumstances, than he was last game. We do see it come out AUI's ping, so take a look at the pings and see how it is across the board. This is a North American versus North American matchup, so it should be pretty favorable. And AUI is sitting at 233, which is not great. Let's see, 167 on Way Too Sexy. I assume we're on a USC server, and some of those people out west are going to suffer a little bit, but anything around 150 isn't too bad. 233 isn't great, though. So we'll wait a minute. Hopefully he can fix out whatever it is that is hurting his ping. I'm Emma and John. This is the American Dota League. Of course, follow American Dota on Twitter. That's at American Dota. And follow them here in this channel. As we see, AUI is going to disconnect and reconnect shortly, I hope, to get back into this game. Take a look at net worth. We see 27, almost 2,800 gold on this Mirana. So interested to see what Mirana's going to build early here. Meanwhile, 2,400 gold on Puck. So Liquid early on are looking the better of the farmers. The laning phase, it seems to be pretty even in terms of getting a tower kill each, getting a kill each, but their heroes are doing a better job of getting their net worth up there, getting their last hits, and probably that last hit on the tower helping as well. Weaver does reconnect. Let's see if AUI is a little bit better off. Now it's still sitting at 230, so not going to be too happy with that. I mean, you could just click on Queen of Pain's inventory. You can see he's a little bit behind against TC, who has a bottle, he has boots, he has his talisman and a wand. We only see a talisman and then 800 gold in the bank for Snaking, but he has a bottle on the Crow as well. So a little bit deceiving. Leshrak doing his duties in terms of stacking and pulling, trying to get a little bit of farm here. This lane is pushed out really far, so it's advantageous to Lifestealer. If he's able to pull it back, it could, of course, be better off. Mirana has the Aquila so far and 1,100 gold in the bank. Mirana's a hero that desperately needs damage. Her base damage is one of the worst in the game. We see they bolstered this a little bit, plus 9 from the Aquila, a couple of extra damages from the branches, so he would be at 60 right now, level 5, which is pretty bad. And we'll see what kind of damage item he wants to go for. If he's going to pick up something like a diffusal we've seen before in the past, pick up an early Yasha, go for crit. I mean, there's a whole lot of options, really. I've even seen the Desolator build, so you can get that minus armor in play, but it would definitely benefit Lifestealer. A little bit of banter coming on between the two teams. TC says ready once again, but I think we're waiting for Dignitas. So, I'm not sure. And here we go. Back into the game. The resume is on. And you do hear Snaking saying in chat, or you do read Snaking saying in chat that should have banned Tree, and that is because this Tree is giving TC favor in the middle lane. There's no question about it. Living Armor throws middle lane in favor of your team most of the time. It even helps out the top lane in that solo lifestealer because they haven't had the Living Armor Korok. They don't have to worry about that. Arrow flies off. It's not going to hit on Universe. He's safe under the tower. Korok opted to pick up a level in Bolt, so he's not going to max out Starfall first. He's going to pick up a level in Sacred Arrow, putting that up to level 2. And Sacred Arrow, of course, with the buff, does a lot of damage if you get an awesome one off. Oh, middle lane, we see Dreamcoil flies off on Snaking. He's going to break it and get caught from the free safety. Fluff and stuff playing behind the tower. Gets a kill onto Queen of Pain. And Snaking is officially struggling in this game. He's down by 13 CS and now dropping as well. 2-1 kill lead for Liquid. 7 minutes, 6.5 minutes in. I wasn't too far off. Weaver picks up Treads, also 700 gold or so in the bank. We see Solace is opting to continue to stack and farm the jungle, trying to get whatever levels he can, but helping out his team later on. We have seen a lot of Leshrac players opt to go heavy into Lightning Storm recently, but with Diabolic Edict working really well against Living Armor, you'd assume them to continue to work towards that, and them having a pretty strong pushing team. I expect to see more Edict flying out soon. AUI in the bottom lane is going to just try and harass Bulba a little bit, but it's not going to work with Living Armor there. As we see, Bulba opts to finish off the phase boots first. Nice pickup. Snaking is going to find TC. The thought of an ice path crossed the mind of Way Too Sexy, but he decides to pull it back. We do see rotation from Bulba towards the middle lane. 3 heroes concentrated still down here on the bottom, and Fluff and Stuff with this jungle farm, he doesn't have too much of it because he's been ganking so heavily, but still able to finish off a headdress and start working towards that mech middle lane. It looks like a gank's going to come. Once again, a Dream Coil, a silence. Snaking's in a lot of trouble. He's going to blink out, break it. Gets slowed. A couple more auto attacks will do him in. One more will do the job, and Bulba going deep for it. No, the bottle is enough to keep him alive, though. And now the courier flies out. He has a blink in 1 second. He can't blink away, though. Bulba gets the last auto attack and finishes off Snaking. Snaking dropping now for the second time in a lane that he's already struggled mightily in. Can't really afford those deaths, and just well played by TC as well as Bulba, almost letting him get away, but still able to capitalize and get the kill. Mirana opts to pick up an early Midas. So, interesting choice for Mirana. Mentioned the fact she needs a whole lot of damage, and Midas should help her get there. So, if you can get it as early as he did, then it's a worthwhile purchase in most instances. And of course, Mirana still has good ability to team fight early on, and it's because of the arrow, it's because of the Starfall. She has damage outside of just auto attacks. And with that ultimate available as well, there's opportunities for Liquid to try and execute some really strong ganks. As we see now, Way Too Sexy has just come towards middle lane once again, and he's probably going to have to stay here just to make sure this lane is safe. Ice Path's going to fly, it's not going to hit. We see the blink forward from Snaking, but the nice phase shift from TC, good response play, is going to keep him safe. Of course, TC being one of the more controversial puck players in the history of Dota. We'll get to that later. Snaking gets jumped on Dreamcoil once again. He breaks the leash, is under the tower, and just casually walking through the ice path. Gets an Infestall. Bulba still not enough damage to kill off Snaking. TC's going to catch him though on the side. Lose her up in 1 second, but Snaking jumps down to the Roche pit. Way Too Sexy is going to try and TP out. And everybody survives somehow. Now from the back end, Universe TP's in. Fluff is going to turn around though, get good damage on him. 2 more auto attacks will take down Universe. Can they connect with the last one from TC? Universe going to try and just keep moving. So gets a little bit of a heal, is going to juke the Illusion Orb, but end up dying because of the second auto attack. And that coming into play. Queen of Pain gets a kill on IX Mike on the back end of it, so Tree and Protector dies. Solace walks up into a bad place into Fluff as well as Bulba. Takes a good amount of damage, and now TC's going to collapse from the back end as well. They're looking for this kill. They're going to find it on Solace. Last hit comes out from Bulba, so now Bulba with 2 kills early on in this game. Ice Path is only going to catch off a couple of creeps. And that's going to be the end of a bad sequence for Dignitas. It's 5-2 now in favor of Liquid. They pick up 1 kill, but only on the support. End up losing a couple they probably couldn't afford to lose. Universe dying there. For what? For a support assist, I don't know. Not a worthwhile trade by most estimations, considering he's not doing too well to begin with. Only 2,300 net worth, 10 minutes into the game. We do see Weaver not really being a part of that fight. His farm is doing pretty well. He's looking for those drums, which should be coming up in 600 gold or so. Queen of Pain is going to look for treads, which aren't too far off either. Bulba taking a little bit of harass damage here. This Weaver build, Max Sakuchi, opts for extra levels in German attack before going for a swarm. So every Weaver has their slightly little different build, but Sakuchi is a very vital skill. I think most Weavers like to max that out just to be safe, even if you don't have too much going against you early on in the game. Meanwhile, Chen does have the courier delivering out his chainmail. So it looks like he's close to finishing off that buckler. So Fluff, despite not having much CS, being involved in 4 kills is getting his farm somehow. Mike, nothing really going on in terms of his inventory, as he was the fatal casualty in the last team fight. Puck is going to pick up a blink. They'll be flying out to him momentarily. And that's a big pickup for TC. He's actually going to TP home for it. He's so excited. Last Shark trying to farm up bottom a little bit. He got level 6. Korok trying to set up an arrow. Really wants an arrow. Looking for an arrow. Let it fly. Here it goes. Arrow's going to go. It's off target. Sauce is going to sit in the trees and not worry about it one bit. If you're just tuning in, I'm NY John. This is the American Dota League, brought to you by the American Dota League. At American Dota on Twitter. Middle lane, there's an engage. We do see Dreamcall flying off on Snaking. There's also an overgrowth. Snaking taking a lot of damage, but there is a response as well as a good Ice Path slows down that aggression. And now in comes AUI. Enter the Weaver. He's going to be able to finish off the Treant. And now TC is going to try and go ahead and use a phase shift, but he's not blocking anything. TC's taking a whole lot of damage. He gets to the high ground, still will die. Last hit from Nature's Prophet will secure that kill. Korok comes in with the invisibility active. He's going to try and get a kill on Leshrac. Will be able to do so. Bulba in the middle of the fight as well. We see AUI is going to put auto attacks on Korok. Korok's going to back up a little bit here, snaking on the high ground, regenerating his mana. Is looking for this courier kill maybe, but he is invisible, so he's a little bit safe in doing so. Ends up being a trade, but Puck lost in the mix. It's not the trade they wanted, as we see 2-for-1 in favor of Dignitas. We're looking to claw their way back in, at least in regards to hero kills, and even net worth in some aspects. We see 2,000 gold lead was in favor of Liquid. It's starting to shift a little bit. Nature's Prophet with big damage from the Wrath of Nature. He does have his minus up as well now. 800 more gold in the bank. Meanwhile, toppling Snaking is going to continue to push out whenever he has the opportunity to do so, and just get whatever farm he can quickly, and then back off. We talked about how hard his early game was. The lane really is miserable for Queen of Pain, and it shows in his farm 13 minutes in. He's sitting at 900 in the bank, but nothing really going on. Now they're going to jump on him. Overgrowth is there. Snaking gets hit by a perfect arrow from Korok, and the Starfall will be enough to finish him off for certain. Murano with the swagger is just going to walk off after clicking the Starfall. No big deal at all. Meanwhile, Puck in the middle lane is going to dive and get a kill onto Jakiro. And a couple of picks across the map put Liquid back in a nice power position. They're going to be able to do work on this tier 1 tower in the middle lane. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Universe is pushing out as well as he can with the Treants. And this tower is dropping. They're going to pop off a glyph to try and save that. Middle tower is going to get saved by a glyph as well. 5 health on it. Who can get the last hit? Bulba looking for it. TC looking for it. Nobody gets it. That's a shame. Korok comes down to the bottom lane. We'll save that tower as it forces Universe to retreat. AUI is going to go ahead and pop off into Sakuchi. IX Mike is top to try and battle him, but not exactly a fair fight. So IX Mike pops into Invis, and we'll just rotate through the jungle. He did a good job of looking for that setup stun with the Treant Protector with the invisibility. That's pretty cool the way they operated that kill. Able to set it up, get the perfect arrow in, and a free kill for Liquid onto a good target as well. On the Queen of Pain, who's been suffering. We were just talking about that. So anytime you can take down a hero that's already down, it's just a horrible position for that hero. AY on the top lane. Bulba's going to jump on top of him a little bit with auto attacks. Bulba sitting on 400 gold in his inventory. AY is going to time lapse back into the middle of it. And we do see Bulba's items are on the courier. It's close to halfway completed for the armlet. Bottom lane, meanwhile, a little bit of push coming out from Korok. He brings the wave up. He still only has the Midas. It's 2,600 gold in the bank. If he wants to build towards the next item, he could probably pick up a piece of it soon. We'll see if he goes heavy damage, like an MKB. If he wants to go Chrysalis or Desolator, So many options available top lane. AUI is going to back up. There's a couple heroes were in the area. Snaking on the middle lane. And these towers just haven't taken any damage. They killed the tower in the top lane. That was early, and there was no one there really to contest. The bottom lane tower has dropped pretty low, but the middle tower has taken no damage, considering how much hubbub has been revolving around that tower. That is pretty good for the side of Liquid. Meanwhile, Korok being bullied by these treants a little bit. I just right-clicked on him, pushing him back to his tower. Fluff and stuff picks up the entirety of his mech. So inside of 16-minute mech for your Chen, who really has been a beast so far. 1-0-5. He's been an integral part of all those kills coming out from Liquid. All 5 of those assists he has. Really, you can credit to him. But getting that mech as well, not falling off, is tremendous. Now IX Mike is going to pop off invisibility, and looks like Dignitas realized they don't have anything to detect. Bulba's going to dive onto Nature's Prophet, get a kill down there. TC does use the Dream Coil for that kill, but of course it's an expendable ability as he has the Dream Coil. Off cooldown in 70 more seconds. Tier 2 tower on the top lane's being pushed out a little bit. IX Mike still wandering. He's leading a lonely life here up at the top jungle. Middle lane, there's a little bit of an engage. It looks like Snaking's going to have to back up as TC as well as Bulba are in the area, and that combination has already devastated this Quap. So wants to be wary of getting hit by the 1-2 punch again. Snaking will be working towards a BKB, which will be a really nice pickup to work against stuff like the Arrow, the Dream Coil, the Overgrowth, a whole lot of abilities on the side of Liquid. It's the right call, I'd say. Drums completed on Weaver. He has 1,600 more gold in the bank. Bulba does have that armlet up and running now, so doing a whole lot better this game on Lifesteal than he did last game. It's worth noting, and now I expect to get a lot of damage quickly from Weaver as he was just trying to jungle. Just trying to jungle, as he does have Arcane Boots completed up as well. We have Jakiro looking at Bracer. He has a Bracer. That's good for him. Universe in the bottom lane pushing out now. 1,000 gold in the bank. This is a Mithril Hammer for AUI 2,000. Here we go. Fluff and stuff coming down towards the bottom lane with a whole lot of creeps. He's going to try and catch off in this Universe once again. Mike is here. He gets caught a little bit. The Overgrowth is there to prevent Cordy from taking out Mike. And if he maintains vision, Mike's going to take a big hit from this. Nope, it didn't make it to him. Weaver, meanwhile, on the top lane is going to get a kill onto Puck. He's going to turn around and try and get a kill onto the Lifestealer as well. But bottom lane, the aggression ceases. And now they're going to try and turn this around. Way 2 comes in. He's got to look for the Ice Path. Ice Path is going to fly. It's not going to catch in time. Meanwhile, behind the tower, Queen of Pain was jumping to try and kill off Mike. Mike pretty low on health, but the Living Armor keeping him alive. And a lot of heroes make their way down here from Dignitas. Highest Path looking for Korok is not going to connect. In the jungle, we do see Snaking going to finish off one of the Centaurs. And they're going to press towards this tower. Korok actually walking into Solace here. He's going to get a Starfall off, and Solace is going to die. The second proc from the Starfall is too strong. If you're close in on that Mirana, it's going to get the kill. And now Dignitas just have to back up. They're going to be able to do so safely. TC doesn't let the Dream Coil fly. Maybe an opportunity to catch Universe there, but he didn't cash in on it. All the meanwhile, AUI just farming the top lane. Has that Mithril Hammer up. Now 1,100 more gold in the bank. Could be a Deso. IX Mike comes in to try and contest this push from AUI. Can't really do a great job of it. AUI's just going to dive him and deal a little bit of extra damage while he can. Let's probably see a time lapse in a moment here while he's tanking this tower. There it is, time lapse away. Tower's down to 312. It's a pretty good place to be. That means if they decide to focus their attention anywhere else from here on out, then it should be an easy tower kill for them. Universe goes ahead and picks up double damage in the river. He's looking for a Shadow Blade. It's going to be a late Shadow Blade at this rate. He's going to jump top lane. They're going to go on top of Mike, and Mike gets caught off with a Sprout. He does use the Overgrowth. AUI doesn't have a time lapse, so he's taking a whole lot of damage, but the kill does land for Nature's Prophet there. And now the tower is being worked on as well. The Glyph is popped. TP response coming in. Will Universe sit to make sure he gets the last hit? He's going to just... Yeah, he gets it. Gets the last hit, but he sacrifices his life in exchange. That was a close call. You saw Puck turning around. Oh, deny. In which case, that would have been a horrible, horrible trade for Dignitas. Meanwhile, middle lane, the tower does get denied by Chen. Making no mistake about it. Snaking gets caught up by an arrow here, and Korok opting to pick up a first item Manta. Wow, that attack speed. He just went hard onto Snaking, and Snaking couldn't get out of that TP quick enough. Ends up getting killed. So 12-6 the advantage for Liquid over Dignitas. Liquid looking really, really strong. And take a look at our graphs. We see 5,000 plus gold lead, 3,000 plus experience lead for Liquid on our Radiant side. Net worth shows 11,000 net worth on Mirana. So Mirana eclipsing the Weaver by about 3,000 net worth, which is pretty damn significant. You see, Weaver's going to go for a Deso. He's going to try and stack his own minus armor. We've already talked to great lengths about Queen of Pain and his struggles, but you consider how bad he's done, and then consider how well Bulba has done on the flip side. He's going to have drums up soon. In fact, the drums are completed. He just needs to get a courier to deliver them out. There's engage on bottom lane, though. We do see Solace taking a good amount of damage. Test of Faith is not going to be enough to kill him. Jakiro will die to Mirana in the middle lane, but Fluff and stuff is getting turned around on. There's going to be a blink here in a moment. And will it be enough there? They're going to use the Sonic Wave to finish off Fluff and stuff. And now IX Mike is going to back up as well. Top lane, though, AUI is going to go on top of Bulba. He's looking for a kill on anybody here. But the invisibility popped up by Mirana is going to keep them both pretty safe. Mike, meanwhile, seeing the fact that Snaking is under the tower, very tempted to come in here. TP comes in from Bulba instead. He's going to go on top of Solace. Solace is going to go down. There's an overgrowth. It's going to stop everyone in their tracks. Cordy catches Bulba in the Sprout with him. He's going to try and TP out. Cannot make it in time, as there is a Dream Coil to interrupt that TP. And another team fight in favor of Liquid, as Snaking is just looking to get the hell out of here now. AUI, meanwhile, finishing up that Deso. Out of morbid curiosity, we're going to check the ping. It shows that AUI is still operating at a pretty high ping, but 200 is manageable. It's not horrendous. It's an inconvenience. And Liquid are just looking really strong, and 200 fans in the game with the Liquid pennants are mighty happy right now, as they're taking a pretty aggressive outlook on the game. 15 kills in 22 minutes is strong. We have 1 kill per minute net total in the game. And, I mean, this offlane lifestealer is just doing phenomenal. I said it a moment ago, but Bulba, this is night and day considering how poorly he did last game. This game, he is rejuvenated and looking mighty strong. And now Snaking is going to come in here and maybe jump on top of him a little bit. It could be a mistake as Fluff is nearby for support. Middle lane, we do see Koroks here, as well as IX Mike, who's been this wandering vagabond, Treant protector the whole game. He spots off Universe in the jungle. I'm thinking about trying to set up a kill, making sure he stays invisible. He's sneaking around like it's Last of Us and there's zombies. And now here comes a long range arrow. It's going to connect, and Universe is dead for sure. Easy kill for the Korok IX Mike combination, the 1-2 punch. That is really hard to deal with. And I was talking about lack of setup, but apparently the overgrowth is enough. He doesn't mind using it for 1 kill, and that low cooldown, the 70-second cooldown, is really being maximized in terms of its value here. Just using it whenever it's available. You probably need to see some detection come out from Dignitas. I mean, bottom lane, there's an engage, though. We do see Fluff get hit by an Ice Pet. Solace is going to go down first. Bulba able to kill him off there. Now the Hand of God does fly. It's going to be enough to kill off Jakiro. There's a nice Dream Coil. Snaking's going to get pushed back here. Snaking just doing ring around the rosy, trying to stay alive while he's silenced. He's going to make his way out for a moment. AUI goes on top of Bulba. Bulba is pretty tanky. There's the Sonic Wave. Bulba going to try and retreat now. He's going to try and make his way over to the creeps. Will infest inside of the big satyr. Pop out. He's still low on health, and he's going to die one way or another. And it's going to be a kill for Snaking, who desperately needs the money. Snaking now at 3,700 gold out of nowhere. That teamfight looked a little bit better from Dignitas, I'd say. Still pretty even. They lose a tower top lane. Mirana and IX Mike opting not to be a part of that. So, probably not the best teamfight considering those two weren't involved, but nonetheless, they need kills, and getting that kill and a whole lot of gold for your underfarmed Quap is going to be huge. And now here's an overgrowth. Qwerty gets caught again, and this is just a bad play from Universe. Looks like Snaking's going to try and capitalize on the response. Korok jumps into the trees. He's going to try and TP out. There is no Ice Path for 2 more seconds. It's already been used, and he will make it out safely. So Universe gets caught out again. On the bottom lane, AUI dropping really low. There's an auto attack from TC to get the kill there. And Puck is working towards the silence as well. He's mighty close as he finishes off his second Staff of Oblivion, or Oblivion Staff. And a really good play from Puck there. Dignitas just look a little bit disoriented. They look a little bit outclassed. They're being outplayed right now by Liquid, who are coming off a pretty devastating loss to Evil Geniuses. They had the chance to try and put a loss and tarnish the record of EG, but they weren't able to do so. So they're taking out their frustrations on Dignitas. And Liquid had a really good victory earlier against, I believe it was Virtus Pro in the D2L. So they've been playing as a whole on the day pretty well, trying to carry that over into this game. And this is with a Mirana carry. Mirana here, we all love to see in action. And Korok and IX Mike are just making this pick really, really look strong. And now Mirana does have enough money to finish off her Butterfly. So this is an issue, considering Weaver opted to go for that Desolator. He's nowhere near getting an MKB, and it's probably going to be necessary just to cope with her, really, and get your damage output up there on top of that. But between the Weaver and the Nature's Prophet, not going to be hitting Mirana too hard. It's a lot of survivability for her, so a really nice pickup. I approve. If you're just tuning in, I'm MY John. This is the American Dota League. You can follow them at American Dota on Twitter. All the follows and support. Oh, AUI and No Man's Light get silence off and is dead. D-E-E-E-E, dead. Middle lane, though. Korok's going to push out. And they're going to go for a Roche at the same time. So Liquid looking fancy here. They're going to try and do two things at once. They're going to get a tower, get a Roche, go mid, maybe go for a tier 3. Weaver dead and could buy back if he wanted to, but he doesn't want to, considering the fact that this Korok is mighty huge, and he's trying to contest him in terms of farm. He's far away from doing it. 2,200 gold in the bank, and Mirana sitting on the Midas, as well as the Manta and Butterfly. Is looking good. IX Mike, meanwhile, 2,000 gold. He's still trying to find somebody. Never giving up. Never surrendering. IX Mike. The will of the stash. And bottom lane we see Fluff has picked up a 4-staff. Mirana 2,600 gold towards whatever she wants next. And really, the world is her oyster right now. She's just 17,000 net worth. Almost doubling up this Weaver. TC has that silence. We saw it in play, being able to prevent that time lapse from happening. Being able to take advantage of the fact that Weaver didn't go for something like a BKB. It's just really wise pickup from TC. And TC's Puck has been really strong this game as well. I mean, having Living Armor and Tree and Protector definitely helps. But he still looked good nonetheless. His phase shifts have been on point, dodging a lot of that damage that Snaking was trying to throw out when he was being aggressive. Speaking of which, Snaking does pick up his BKB. So we talked about him having a tough time. Still gets the BKB. I'll see if that can help. Bottom lane, Korok's in a little bit of trouble. There's a lot of heroes here. Here comes the Ice Path. 2 unreliable stuns. The Sprout is there to set it up, and now Korok is going to go down once. Can they kill him twice? He's going to have a jump up in 5 seconds. There's the Ice Path. There's the Sprout. It's going to catch him in the middle of it. AUI on the side, piling on some damage. Korok's able to jump into the river. The pursuit is there from Snaking. He doesn't have a slow available, though, as he's too low on mana. Here's a response from Bulba, and there should be Living Armor coming out in a moment as well. Bulba's going to jump on top of Universe. Universe is going to go down to that Lifestealer, and now Korok will drop to the Weaver, but Bulba is on a warpath in the river. He's on top of Way Too Sexy. He's dead as well. Bulba's not done yet. He's going to pop off that drum charge and look for Solace. Solace is going to try and TP out of here, and with no ways to interrupt, he will make it out safely. Meanwhile, Weaver is able to pick off the Chen as well. Buyback comes out from Mirana. He's going to go ahead and TP towards the middle lane. Top lane, tier 3, taken down by TC as well as IX Mike. AUI gets caught by a nice overgrowth and will be finished off from the back end. QWERTY comes in. He's going to pop off the Wrath of Nature. It's going to be looking for a kill. It's not going to find TC as he's able to phase shift. The Living Armor will keep him alive for another moment, but they will get the kill in the long run. Snaking, picking up that kill, and now IX Mike is the next target. He's inside of the Sprout. Universe looking for auto attacks, but IX Mike popping off that invisibility and no more detection. An arrow flies off. It's going to hit on top of Universe. A beautiful arrow from Korok is going to kill off Nature's Prophet once again. And now the Raxes are going to be focused here. And a Rax is going to go down for Dignitas with 4 heroes dead. Bulba and Korok on the front door, and GG is called from Way Too Sexy. Liquid, or should I say Korok, taking down this game Phenomenal play from this Mirana. Amazing play from this Mirana. Boba played well. Fluff and stuff played well. And Liquid as a whole look a whole lot better in this game, and Dignitas struggled. Weaver did well early, but Nature's Prophet got killed a couple times. Mid lane went poorly for this Queen of Pain. And that's pretty much the story of the game, really. Shutting down Snaking, shutting down Universe. Sitting at 30 minutes, he only had a Midas and a Shadow Blade, as well as Queen of Pain only had a BKB. Weaver only had a Death. So, I mean, what more to say except for Liquid shut down Dignitas. 27-12 final kill count. It's a gold per minute on Mirana, 690. Mighty big from this Mirana. That's it for this game. We have a couple more games coming up today. I believe next is Evil Geniuses versus Insight. So be sure to stay tuned. I'm NYJohn. You can follow me on Twitter at NYJohnTV. I would appreciate that. I'm getting close to 100 followers, and I would really like to hit that soon, as it is kind of like a little landmark. Something to be proud of. You can also follow American Dota League at American Dota on Twitter. Follow them here on their Twitch as well. And purchase a ticket. It's only $5. You can be inside the game for all this action. Watch the replays and watch your favorite players from first-person perspective. We're going to go ahead and get ready for the next game. Be sure to stay tuned. We'll have a little bit of a break, but Evil Geniuses will be back on the spotlight trying to keep their undefeated streak alive against Insight. See you then.